Hi, this is David again, and I just wake up every day, and there's just this constant stream of comedy from the Mormon Church. I mean, the joke of the day, what policy are they going to come up with next? Okay, for those of you that watch me in New Zealand and Canada and oh my God, the Philippines and Africa and Iraq. Jeez, you don't get this information. When I was living in California, we never got information about like building a $5 billion mall. So whether I'm a small voice or not, I don't care. I have to wear my glasses, so I won't be as handsome in this particular video. Let me tell you what the subject is. The church Halloween event bans cross-dressing. Let me show you this. Can I get my camera? Yeah, I can. Look at Fox News. Here it is, Channel 13 in the Salt Lake City area. See, now the committee for the strengthening know that I'm in the Salt Lake area somewhere. Yeah, they're going from door to door with missionaries. They're knocking and saying, "Where is that old man?" Let me tell you, you don't understand. If you don't live in Utah, you just don't understand how stupid this religion is. They think they own the state, they own all the people in it, and they're under the illusion that everybody loves them. I told you on one of my other videos that they're putting commercials now on my video. You may see a commercial on this video if I say Mormon or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They have a machine that goes in and buys ads, I guess, automatically for the Mormon Church. So when I'm saying something that is the truth, see, the truth to a Mormon is anti-Mormon. I'm not against Mormons. I'm just telling you the stupid and the silly stuff I have to live with every day and what's happened to me for 50 years. So let me put the word in Mitt Rommney. Mitt Rommney. As soon as they see that, they automatically pick it up in their computers and they buy ads, and you'll see underneath my throat which is a reminder of the slitting of throats, a Mormon ad trying to get you. I don't care if you want to go to mormon.org, mormon.org. Now see, the computer hears that. So I don't care if you want to go investigate or you want to get in or you want to get out of the church. I don't care. That doesn't affect me one way or the other. Now let me tell you what these stupid comic people, this is like a circus. Down in Sandy, Utah, which is just out of the Salt Lake area, there's 2 wards. I think they've got total assholes for bishops. But that's not unusual. That is not unusual. So they say a woman's organization did this. You know it's the Relief Society, and you know it's under the auspices of the bishop and the bishopric and the stake presidency. Every time something goes crazy and backfires on the Mormon Church, they always cut the heads off of the little local people. They're never the stake president. They're never the bishop. So what they did in Utah, again, they have what's called trunk, T-R-U-N-K, or treat. Now, let me tell you just a quick history on this thing. Trunk or treat is the Mormons trying to control the Mormons. They're a closed community. They don't want their children going out from door to door like millions do every Halloween and knock on the door and get candy. Last year, I took my kids trick-or-treating, and on one of the Mormon doors for the trick-or-treaters, it said, "No smoking." This property. I had a 7-year-old and I had to have her put out her cigar. Jeez. These people are so comic. You don't need to watch TV. Just read their website. There's one guy now on their website, I think he just squeezed on through the cracks, who's inactive in a Mormon Mormon church. He's speaking against it, which they're never going to allow. They're going to just pull him off of there when they find out. Well, trunk or treat is where all the Mormons drive their car into the parking lot of the local chapel or stake center, and they have candy in their trunk, kind of like a child molester. If a kid wants candy, get in the trunk of the car. So they open the trunks, and the kids all come in their little costumes, and they pick up the trunk or treat. Now, here in our area, they move the trunk or treat into the chapel. Now, they didn't move the cars into the chapel. They just used the rooms now in the chapel for trick or treat, which to me is a little satanic anyway, but not to them, not to them. Jesus said it was okay. So the reason they did that, and it was in our local newspaper, is so that local children could not come into the Mormon parking lot and get free candy. Freedom for all. Freedom, freedom, free agency. So anyway, the trunk or treat has become a Mormon doctrine, I guess. So pretty soon, there's now 2 wards. I'm telling you, this is crazy stuff. Down in Sandy. And the Relief Society went around and they posted on the doors of everybody. They have no respect for non-members. They have no respect for Muslims, for Buddhists, for atheists, for Catholics, Lutheran, for Baptists, Pentecostal. They don't have any respect for anybody. If you're not a member of the only Mormon true church restoration on the face of the earth, you're dog shit. So anyway, these people started posting all of these flyers. Mormons love flyers, uses their talent of art. And so they put a tape and they put it on your front door. And it said trunk or treat is on a certain night. And that basically, now this is doctrine, again, in the Mormon church, anything that has to do with Halloween, you can't wear a mask. Now, I can understand why 7-Eleven doesn't want you coming into their store not wearing a mask. I think their video cameras have a hard time identifying people who rob them. But why in a Mormon church? What are you going to take in a Mormon church? Well, they don't have control. They don't know who's behind that mask, so they can't accuse you, intimidate you, and threaten you. And so they take the Halloween a little way, but they don't want skeleton faces and monsters and whatever. So anyway, they put these posters on the door, and they said in these posters, no cross-gender dressing. So if a little girl wants to be Superman, she can't do that. They're going to control her vagina. Mormon, 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 vagina, vagina. Oh, see, now the computer, I'll have all kinds of ads all over. And one of the Mormons wrote to me today and said, well, we've been doing that for a year. You're just paranoid. I didn't know they were doing it for a year. Anyway, she can't dress as Superman, and if a guy wants to dress up as a cheerleader, he can't go to a Mormon event. Here's the control of your penis and your vagina. This church cult is so focused on your penis and your vagina and what you do to it. This is the introduction. No cross-gender dressing is an introduction to gay and lesbians and the Mormon church's hatred for those people who are just born that way. Just like black people were born with black skins. What can you do? You're born that way. So some of the non-Mormons, which most of the time we don't say too much in this state because they'll get us. They find a way to get us. Like my videos, I've got their mormon.org, mormon.org. So the computer again is lighting up. Get on this one. Jesus. So anyway, the non-members say, wait a minute, why are we hating people? I guess the Mormon answer is, that's just what we do. It's our comedy of the day. So the church says, oh, it's not our doctrine, it's up to the bishops and the stake presidents. Well, let me tell you something. The bishops and the stake presidents do absolutely nothing in the state without the upper authorities approving it. So here it is on Fox News. Church Halloween events ban cross-gender dressing. So if you go to the trunk or treat, which is now moved inside because the neighborhood kids are not Mormons, they don't deserve the candy, and don't wear any mask, and for God's sakes, if you're a boy, don't wear a dress, or if you're a girl, don't be a Superman. This is the most historic, comic fanatical group of people. You know, this is, I've seen the Quakers and the Mennonites, and at least they keep to themselves. And they obey the law. They put those triangles on the back of their vehicles when the roads are used. And I respect them. They don't pound on your door, and they're not trying to convert you. They're just simply believing this is the way they want to live, and they have a right to do that. But the damn Mormons, they're not going to leave you or me alone. They're going to post on our door, and they're going to set the standards right here in Utah. All of the schools and all of the school activities that my children go to, they're not allowed to wear masks. Gee, I wonder where that activity and the crossing of church and state and our tax money and the Mormon tithing money. So anyway, I just thought this was hilarious. So don't take your kids to Utah to trick or treat. It's nothing but a nightmare. And like I said, if you do, trunk or treat it does exist in some places still. But now they've moved it inside because the neighborhood kids come and get candy. And the Mormons are so poor because they pay 10% of their money to build a mall. They don't want those kids around. And those kids are not controlled. They'll come with a mask. They'll come with a mask. And it'll drive the authorities absolutely crazy. So don't wear a mask. Don't be cross-gender. And now cross-gender and mask in the school system in Utah has crept in. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. I live in this state, and I'm telling you, after 50 years of living in that cult, controlling my penis and my family's penis and vaginas, they're still doing it. This is their main religion. We will control your face, your penis, your vagina, your pocketbook, your thoughts, etc., etc. So let me just conclude this video, and I'll hold this up because you're not going to believe it, because I don't believe it. Let me get up my camera there. Okay, so you can go right on. Let me turn it so you can actually read it. There it is, Fox News, and they're banning cross-gender. So a funny video. Every morning you wake up. The Mormons come up with ideas that normal people would never come up with. I'm going to take my kids trick-or-treating, not trunk-or-treating, and they're not going to get molested. They're not going to get candy with razor blades and all of these fantastic things that the Mormons use for excuses to control your children and your penises and your vaginas. So I just thought that was an interesting one for the day. And let me take these off so that I can leave beautifully. You can see I dress up, and I have a flag beside me, and I have a podium that has an insignia on it, and I put my suit and my tie on. It's not that I don't respect these people. It's just that I don't respect them. This is better than stand-up comedy.